The Barrens were the only place desolate enough to allow me to build the Queen Anne's Revenge in peace. Before I discovered the Barrens, all of my efforts would be overrun by people looking to cause me harm. But here, the energy it would require to ruin my day wasn't worth the wasteland they would have to traverse. Being a pirate with no water to sail on is like being a pirate with no water to sail on. I tried to build a craft that could weather the lava, but each time the craft and crew would erupt in flames. That's why today, the Queen Anne's Revenge sails on thermal currents and arcane magic. Yes, the arcane magic is doing the heavy lifting, but I'd like to believe the sails are still doing something.
Alice, because I'm not around to defend it, he's got another thing coming.
The Barrens are as good a home as any pirate could ask for. It's remote, devoid of people, and perilous to get to. Here, I can live as a pirate king for the rest of my eternal days. Robbing galleons and avoiding the crown was a thrill, but it's nothing compared to robbing the denizens of hell. Life without adventure is no life I'm fit to live. Here, the stakes are beyond simple life and death. Hell is where I'm meant to be. I don't know who placed those glyphs that lead to treasure, nor do I care. The chase is all that matters. Some may question why I would bother revealing the location of missing treasure when I could find it myself. But the answer is simple. Competition. With no one else looking for the treasure, there is no incentive for me to find it over robbing other demons. Without another race to find the prize, those chests just sit there dormant, and treasure is meant to be found. These barons aren't going to cleanse themselves! Little help, if you please!
Everyone's chasing the Stygian dream down here. A way to make hell just a little more tolerable. And when you're surrounded with that amount of desperation, believe me, it's easy to find people who lay it all on the line for next to nothing. Some folks think I had all this handed to me and I take advantage of people, but here's the God's honest truth. In life and in death, I worked for everything that I had. Opportunities mean fuck all if you do nothing with them. Most of these poor bastards down here whine about their lot in life, but are unwilling to do anything about it. That's not me. Know your limits. He was the best piece of advice my father gave me, and I ignored it because I was a fucking idiot. I was the director of special projects for Ultor, and I pissed it all away because my ambition got the better of me. The reality is that I'm a kingmaker, not a king. I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. I'd be a liar if I didn't say I got a little pissed when the would-be president shot me in the face. But after a couple years of reflection, I realized something. They had the same look in their eyes that I have. They were driven. And when I realized that, I knew I wanted to prepare for the moment they would come down to hell, because on that day, I wanted to be standing with the saints.
Let's see what these things can do.
I knew that when the leader of the Saints came down here, he wasn't going to be interested in hearing what I had to say unless I had a pretty fucking big peace offering. Perfect opportunity came after Blackbeard robbed Satan's palace and stole Lucifer's halo. Blackbeard knew that he had to unload it fast before Sinterpol raided the Barons, so he was willing to put a price on an otherwise priceless artifact. Cost me a fortune, but it was worth it. Satan would never suspect that I had it, and I could bide my time until the leader of the Saints was hellbound. My plan was solid, but not even I could predict a shotgun wedding.
Let's go!
Satan forcing Jezebel to marry the president definitely put a wrinkle in things. For one, I wasn't sure if Johnny was going to let me explain the situation before he killed me. For another, I was entrusting the most powerful artifact in the world to someone who had worse impulse control than teens on prom night.
I was never destined for obscurity, but no theatre company would even entertain the idea of putting on my works, preferring to read plays written by lesser men. To them, I was a laughingstock, a fool who only wrote base comedies. I was willing to give anything to have my works be given the credit they were due. Some may question if selling my soul was worth it. Obviously, those people never met Marlowe.
Maybe the Prince of Darkness, but he picked out some great stationery for that wedding invitation.
The passion plays I wrote for Satan were simple and formulaic. The context didn't matter so much as ensuring that the action was consistent and exciting. He didn't see those plays for the plot. He saw them for the spectacle of murder. That being said, the comedy about Iago and Aaron the Moor as roommates was a real hoot. Jezebel, my pupil, my muse, a demon with the voice of an angel. Oft would I sneak into her room to read scenes and wear funny hats. She would write these plays, these terrible, terrible plays, but the subject matter was happy and hope-filled, and that was enough for me. I was a fool to think that those times could have lasted.
Pierce is really into mani-pedis.
Let's go!
When I left the palace, my name carried much weight. But I knew it wouldn't be for long if I didn't keep myself relevant. I spread rumors that the reason I was cast out by Satan was that my ambition rivaled his own. Soon, demons would come to me in secret, asking what I had planned. I adopted a persona, speaking grandly in the third person to make me larger than life. In a matter of time, my cult of personality transformed into a criminal empire. The tragedies.
These barons aren't going to cleanse themselves! A little help, if you please!
Today, my reach is great. My minions have infiltrated almost every aspect of hell. The army, the brothels, even Dane's so-called secret Tacos Marlowe's branches. No secrets are hidden from me. Your lover, your father, your brother-in-arms. Anyone could be working for me. When I arrived to Hell, my reputation preceded me, and Satan was quick to court my aid. He promised me a new body, a fiefdom, and a castle in exchange for loyalty. I happily agreed. I trained his army, maintained the peace, and ferreted out Satan's enemies. But all of my loyalty meant nothing when I committed the unforgivable sin of failure. I led Hell's army in the last war. I warned Satan that we didn't have the forces for a prolonged conflict, but Satan demanded action. Ever the soldier, I obeyed. But despite my best efforts, the angelic host decimated my forces, just as I said they would. Satan was outraged and blamed me for his poor judgment, and sentenced me to eternal torture. I tried to escape that insidious prison time and time again, but it was useless. The wheels on the bus kept going round and round, round and round, round and round. Returning home was not the experience I had hoped it to be. It was desecrated by lost souls that thought it would be fun to throw events on my property while I was away. I hope the beer pong games were worth it to them, because when I find them, they will all beg for the mercy I will never give. The fiefdom I control has since fallen into disrepair since my incarceration. But the land and all the souls that reside there are still my responsibility. My subjects will at first be loyal out of fear, but after they obey, they will see that I can be a magnanimous ruler, and their lives will be better for my involvement.
Oh boy.
Downtown looked like a shithole when I first got here.
In all fairness, you were in hell.
True, but where others saw status quo, I saw opportunity. I knew that if I wanted to revitalize downtown, I would need clout and capital. I just needed to find the right business venture to get started. I looked at the market and saw that Centerpol was the only game in town for defense and law enforcement, and knew I could create a powerful alternative. Soon, Cerberus Security was founded. Viola and I always did everything together.
Played together,
Went to college together.
traveled together.
Formed a criminal empire together.
I always thought that we would die together.
Sorry, V. Beat you to the punch on that one.
After you died, all I had was revenge. I never thought that I'd...
Feel whole again?
Yeah.
I love you, sis.
Me, you too. By the time I showed up in hell, Cerberus and Centerpol were already locked in a bitter fight for dominance of the marketplace.
We never would have pulled ahead if it weren't for you.
You would have pulled it off.
I'm not so sure. The strategy you put together was brilliant on both the martial and marketing side. I'm good at getting things started, but you were the one who always put the exclamation point on a plan. With us reunited, it was only a matter of time before we were on top of the world. Revitalizing downtown wasn't about profit.
It kinda was about profit.
A little bit.
Like 50%.
The point is that it was also about making an impact. An eternity is a long time, and we both wanted to carve out something beautiful in this terrible place.
Like Dane says, hell's what you make it.
I know your best friend is trapped in hell, and that sucks and all, but I really could use your expertise over here in the Forge.
Things are going perfectly. Downtown was rebuilt in our image, the money was rolling in, we had an amazing penthouse.
But then something happened. Centerpol, who was long since relegated to obscurity, came back with a vengeance.
They had new gear, new weapons, and new purpose. Destroy Cerberus.
Someone is funding them, and we are going to find out who.